One thing that I was thinking about, I went through a bazillion rewrites of the intro, was the fact that, okay, in the media there's, you know, the sex goddess, there's like the whore, there's the virgin, and there's the moms with the baby bumps, everyone's pregnant. You know, we tend to give women only so many characters, right, Stephanie, that they can play. And what was interesting to me was when Suicide Girls came out, these were women that were fiercely intelligent, fiercely, you know, holding their own and claiming their sexuality at the same time. However, what name did they choose? Yeah. Suicide Girls, yeah. Which was off a Palachinic, whatever thing. That was interesting. I'm not saying anything bad against them. I love the Suicide Girls, but that's an interesting thing. Watch these smart women destroy themselves, take on their own body. Not that they destroy themselves. They're piercing themselves, they're tattooing themselves. They are claiming ownership over their own body, yet the tragic element of them being suicide girls, having the self-destruction, they're so hot, they want to destroy themselves. That is glamorized. And I think that's an interesting thing, that they were the first, I'm sexy and smart. You're a suicide girl. What's that mean? So that was something that I thought about, but I didn't put in there. Is there anything that you guys want to add on that, or the gender, or?
Well, I think, you know, we live in a system and a culture where, as women, as young girls, we're told to be quiet. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Don't take up a lot of space. And so, you know, I literally and figuratively embodied that. And I did try to erase. And I don't know, schooling, I think, and reading and writing allowed me to begin to embrace my agency. And I know I don't have to be quiet anymore. I don't have to be silent, and I don't have to try to erase myself, and I like taking up space. And I encourage, you know, of course I encourage women, but, you know, my piece isn't exclusively a female piece. You know, lots of young men, lots of men, they don't necessarily have to be younger, but a lot of men struggle with this as well. And it's important that they get their stories out as well, because they've been told.
Yeah, well that's the thing that's very interesting too, is that I've had guys come up to me or want to take the workshops and are like, can I? I'm a guy, can I take this workshop? And it's been really interesting for men to read it, not only to understand a little bit about, you know, maybe some women that they know that are dealing with this stuff, but simply any man dealing with this stuff, it's the same thing. It's isolation, it's dealing with power, it's regaining it. It's just, you know, I chose to make it about women because I didn't want to broaden it that way. So, but it is an interesting thing. Is there something that you want to add on that, or should?
I mean, I don't know how much this relates. I mean, of course it relates to the piece somehow, but sex was always stigmatized in my life. I'm Cuban and like grew up super traditional Cuban neighborhood and family, and like it was really a really awesome climate politically. Like I lived around all these different Latin cultures, and everyone was very like angry at every government. Like it was really good, like rich community. But then, like I felt like the only one in the entire neighborhood who like loved the culture as much as I loved, you know, jerking off. And like I was punished once because I was caught jerking off. I was like 8, and they took away the cable and the little kiddie pool that we used to hang out in, and like all summer long. I think I was young, maybe it was 7 or 8, I don't know. But it was just this thing, like sexuality is wrong, and I never saw it as as if this was stigmatizing women's sexuality, but just sexuality in general, because I was raised by just women, and I didn't really have any men or in my life, and like my cousins who were like younger than me were boys, but like we never talked about sex. I never talked about sex among the family, so it was just this constant thing that I had to struggle with it, even when I've been even when I've been really healthy sexually, there's always been some kind of stigma, whether it's like fucking double standards between male and female, or even Cuban culture, American culture. I just, you know, sex is like embracing sexuality in your own body has always been a generally difficult thing. So you know, it took like a lot of removal from society as a woman to like become a very sexual person. Because even during the time where I felt the most internally like damaged and confused about my body, I was still, you know, pretty slutty, pretty sexual, and like even during the times in my life where it was like an extremely difficult concept, it wasn't like something that I could abandon. Sexuality wasn't something I could just abandon. So you know, it just like I felt that process of becoming a sexually healthy person involved a lot of implementing myself in these like radical sexual communities with other people who were voicing the same things, and yeah.
Now, we only have just a little bit of time, but I did want to throw out, does anyone have a question, or maybe we can all exchange emails? I'm not sure, because I don't want to overstep their boundaries. How should we play this, Carol?
We should probably break now and have anybody who wants to engage in conversation more.
Yes.
One, if anybody wants to get the book, we want to make sure you get the opportunity to do that.
Please do.
And two, even if they lock the door, we can hang out and chat on the sidewalk for a few more minutes. It's a nice evening. So,
at
there's a cafe right there. So.
And on Wednesday, there's going to be an event in the Center for Sex and Culture. Carol got me writing pornography, erotica. So
I just have that effect on people.
She does. And so they'll be reading from more 5-minute erotica, which she just edited. It came out, it's wonderful. Otherwise, please do check out the book. Everyone here has signed a copy. You can get the personalized one. I'm having it go from like $15 to $18, whichever you want to pay. If you buy it in stores with tax, it's $20. So get it, support us, and say hi and ask about their stuff. Absolutely.
And again, the email list for the Center for Sex and Culture is back there on the table with the books. And if somebody here is interested in that email list and isn't on it now, please sign up. You get 2 emails a month, and I'll make sure you know about the when and why and where on Wednesday, before Wednesday, if you want to sign up today. I'll make sure you get on it in time to get that information.
Yes, and I have a MySpace and a Facebook on the book, and a mailing list as well. So please tell people about it or sign up and stuff like that.
Again, it's called Live Through This.
Live through this.
Thank you so much for
Thank
spending
you
part of
very
your
much,
Father's
guys.
Day with us.